Welcome back, everyday business leaders. I'm your host for today's show, coming to you from JP the Geek Studio in Greenwood, Indiana. I am thrilled to have you with us today because you're going to meet the guys from Isaiah117 House. There's a lot of stuff happening, and we need to help them raise some money for an upcoming event. So stay tuned, get out your journals, and learn how you can connect and support this group. Join me. Remember, we're connecting to remarkable business leaders all across our community. And so we want to celebrate them, and we want you to think and grow with them as well and get connected. So subscribe to our channel and turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. Are you ready to meet the guys from Isaiah117 House? Here we go. Hello.
Hello, Melanie. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we this is kind of take two. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, it was our little secret.
Yeah, it was our little secret. But, you know, I'm pretty authentic about the show.
Absolutely.
So we are having you on because you have an event coming up. And so today I want to celebrate both of you with Isaiah117 House, but also to help them understand how we can fundraise, how we can help you get behind the activities that are happening. So both of you here, Logan and Dylan, thank you for coming on the show again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, It's awesome. So I'm going to kick it off first with you, Logan, and talk to us a little bit about the idea from Isaiah117. If people don't know the story behind why it's named what it is, and a little bit about what you guys do.
Absolutely. So Isaiah117 House started in Carter County, Tennessee, so northeastern Tennessee, by a foster family who, as they were going through the process of becoming certified and accepting their first foster placements, they consistently found that the kiddos that were coming to their home had a lot of needs, from clothing to food, the things that they were able to bring from their previous home, their previous family's home, often, wasn't really fit to keep. So they were consistently needing just a village of people around them to provide all the things that, any age of child might need. So as they started praying through it and actually had a kiddo named Isaiah in their house, so they started reading through the book of Isaiah in their Bible. It didn't take them very long to get to chapter 1, verse 17, where it says, "Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, take up the cause of the fatherless, and plead the widow's case." So that was all they needed to kind of solidify this idea that something needed to exist. And what they landed on was a physical house that whatever the local social services, Department of Child Services is called, would be able to bring the children to the house after they've been removed, and that we would just wrap around everyone in that situation to provide food, clothing, car seats, beds, whatever anyone in that situation might need to make it less traumatic and make that transition into the foster care system easier. They wanted to be able to provide that. So fast forward almost 6 years later, we have 24 open homes across the nation, and the closest one and the one that we're representing is in Indianapolis. So that's why we're here today.
Mm-hmm. So 6 years, that's all it's been.
Yes. 6 years from one house to 23 open houses, and another 34 that are in some form of construction or expansion and fundraising.
Wow. So how are you funded?
By individual donors. So we have a program called Sock Buddies, which is just our fun take on a monthly contributor. So we try to make sure that whenever we open a house in a community and bring this resource, that it gets to stay there forever and be sustainable. So that's why it's so important for us to have our monthly contributors. So someone who donates any amount on a monthly basis receives a branded pair of our socks just as a fun thank you and a reminder when they wear them that they are really making a change in our community for the way that foster care begins.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our golf tournament, and Dylan brought us the awesome idea of doing a gala. So, any way that we're able to connect with people while also helping to meet our fundraising goals is just a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what you're doing, Dylan, because how did you have this idea?
So this idea came to me. So I'm a part of this organization, this club at high school called DECA. And DECA is kind of like a young business minds, like putting their ideas out there and working to compete. So I made it to state, which I was super happy about because it was my first year. I made it to state. Yeah, I was sitting there and everyone else, like big schools like Carmel and other schools are super good at it because they do it yearly. Well, Perry is kind of new. I think this year's our third year because I'm the president of it now. So it's our third year there. And I was sitting there and I was like, I thought I did so good in my interview. I thought I gave so many good ideas. And I sat there and I watched every other school get one, and I was so bummed out. So I was just sitting back. I was bummed out until I seen this project that they have. It's called Community Giving. And I was like, because I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've did a project before about giving back to the community. And I said, I think I can make a big impact here, and I think I can make this project something huge. So I sat back, was thinking about it, and I was like, a gala sounds like a perfect idea. And my mom worked with Isaiah before, and it's not my first time hearing about it. So I was like, I want to do something. I want to throw a gala to raise money to give back to Isaiah for what they've done to the community.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. And I know you have a big goal.
Yes.
Yeah. How much is that goal?
The goal right now is $30,000, and I hope to get that goal and go over it.
Mm-hmm. And the event happens when in February, right?
Yeah, February 8th.
February 8th, 2025. So we've got some time to plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So when this show comes out, we've got a lot of time to promote it.
Yes.
Get behind it. And you are doing sponsorships for the event as well as donors and ticket sales.
So any like business that wants to get their name out and want to put their name on the gala and like help out and support and advertise their company, they can go onto the website and they can decide to sponsor. There's 3 levels. There's silver, gold, and platinum, and each level gives them different benefits for the money they contributed. Or if you don't have that money to sponsor the gala and you don't have the money to go to the gala, like to buy a ticket, you can always go onto the website and donate as much as you want. Anything's grateful. And like someone has done that already, and I reached out to him and I was like, thank you so much for this.
How much have we raised so far?
So far, rough estimate, it should be $7,500, but that's just like, that's not profit because I want to give $30,000 profit to Isaiah. So
that's awesome. So what else besides your mom, like what makes you so passionate about serving in this capacity?
So I've always had like a thing for giving back to my community through like the Boy Scouts, like the community service hours that I'd get. And like at first I was like, oh, I gotta work, I gotta go do all this thing. Now like after I've grown up and I've like adapted to it, I'm like, this is actually fun. I want to go give back. I want to do all these great things to help other kids that don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Have you experienced anyone that you've known that has been through foster care? Yeah,
one of my friends, he's gone through foster care, not through Isaiah because they weren't around at that time, but he's gone through the foster care system, and he's like, yeah, it's not the good thing someone like found him and adopted him. And it was like, but he went through it for a couple years and he's like, it's not something fun. And Isaiah's really changing the way the foster care system begins.
Mm-hmm. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Logan, from your perspective, I know you get to see hands-on what's happening, and I've heard so many stories with DCS and the kids that I know that have gone through the system, and they say, they get a trash bag and it's take a couple of things that you need and then you get moved from house to house. So talk to us about the experience that the kids have now through Isaiah117.
Yeah, so our focus being on what's called Removal Day, which is, maybe there are some court hearings or some things that are going on behind the scenes that lead up to Removal Day. But Removal Day is actually when the separation happens from the child, which, we have served guests, and there are removals all the way, down to a few minutes after the baby is given birth, if it's something that's planned in the hospital, up to 17 years old when they're approaching, legal adulthood and are separated from the system. So our focus on Removal Day is because of the amount of trauma that can come from that experience, that no matter what circumstance or whatever's happening at home, that's still the family that child knows. That's the mom or dad or grandparents that they love. They're leaving behind siblings, pets, their school and their friends, and all of the things that they enjoy. While we may say that they need more, that's all that they've known. So there's still a lot of sadness, and that they just want to go back home. They wish they could be back with their family. So a resource that we try to be able to provide is something that kind of fills that gap. So the physical house, a beautiful house that has all of the things that they might want and need in it, as well as loving volunteers that are trained. We kind of equip them as the fun aunt or the fun uncle on that Removal Day, that we know we can't be there every step of the way to walk with them, but on that day we make sure that they have everything that they need, and we try to allow them to be a kid and just enjoy their childhood as much as possible, while all of the adults in their life and all of the adults surrounding them can kind of work through, the not so fun legal and all the court proceedings and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So your location, so if somebody's listening right now and they say, hey, I want to give, they can go to Isaiah117 House. What's the exact website?
Isaiah117house.com is our website.
Okay.
You can also find us on all of the major social media platforms. And whenever you're giving, there is a designation for which county you'd like it to go towards. So if you do feel that you'd like it to stay in the community, then you can choose Marion County, Indiana, and that will make sure that any contribution is directed to us.
Mm-hmm. So remind us which counties that you are currently in.
So Marion County, which, as far as rough numbers of total children in need of services, is around the 2,200 mark. So that means 2,200 children who have an open case with the Department of Child Services, whether they are still in home or maybe if they have been removed and they would be in a relative's house or in foster care. Other than that, we have houses in Boone County, which actually serves a few counties surrounding, so Boone, Hendricks, and Montgomery. If you go a little bit further to the north in Tippecanoe, there's a house that will be opening hopefully later this year. We're really excited to see the team there be able to open their doors. And then other houses around Indiana in Muncie, Indiana. So that would be considered Delaware County. Mm-hmm. They are ready to break ground. They're hoping and praying for their groundbreaking very soon to be able to build their house. And then in southern Indiana, we have open houses in Vanderburgh County and Knox County. So we're really growing throughout Indiana and other states because it's an issue that's nearly universal across all the states.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody talks about it. Mm-hmm. And through COVID, I think here it's been 6 years, right? But 2019 has only been 5 years ago today. So you think about the timing of whoever said, let's take this action step, the person that did it, and then created that momentum, and it's such a need today.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be part of the process. And someone recently asked me what is my favorite part or the favorite part of my job, and I always say it's about meeting people who know the need and who really understand the resource that we provide, and those that are just as invested in it as we are. Maybe they don't want to start an Isaiah117 house in their community, but they are just as invested in making a change in the way that foster care begins in one way or another.
Mm-hmm. So what inspired you to get involved?
Hi, this is Melanie Ake. When you visit everydayleaders.com, you'll find valuable resources to become a better leader in your life. Women's leadership programs, including Top Floor Women, our monthly networking events, corporate workshops, and strategic business coaching services. Discover classes and products to develop yourself, including our morning leadership devotionals. Don't forget, order one of my inspirational books, sign up for classes, or pick up some gear in the Leader Store. Listen to the Everyday Business Leaders podcast, apply to be a guest in our studio, or even sponsor your own commercial advertisement. Contact us today at everydayleaders.com.
So there was a friend of our family and actually a client of mine, because I was originally, my first career was as a photographer, who was starting the Isaiah117 house in Vanderburgh County, Indiana, and they needed a photographer to help them with some of their events and when they were getting ready to do the ribbon cutting at their house, because it was right in the midst of COVID. It was July 2020. Everything was very limited, so they had to just really rely on digital resources to be able to continue to spread the word. So I was kind of their go-to photographer to spread that message. And after walking through the house and hearing, even in their limited time being open, the stories and the change that they were creating, I knew that I had to be involved in some way. And I felt that there were a few roadblocks in the way, but God quickly cleared all of those out of the way, in that when I moved to Indianapolis for college, it was just getting started, the Marion County expansion. So I was involved from day one there. And then I've just always, kind of like Dylan said, felt a strong conviction to give back to the community. And although I never had any personal experience in the foster care system, I know friends who have. I know friends of the family who have. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, by no fault of their own, some of them didn't have the best outcome. And the path that it led them down wasn't as bright as we would hope for all of, the kiddos and the families that we know. So I think it was just a culmination of all of that experience. And then when I saw the opportunity, I knew that I had to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm. So great. And so then when you found out about this and you came to Isaiah117 House, you just said, hey, I have this idea and I want to help you. And so the idea about the gala and volunteers, what else is behind that? Like, where is this going to happen? Where's this gala going to happen?
This gala is going to happen. It's going to be downtown February 8th at the Rathskeller. So the original plan, it was just going to be this little ballroom. And I said, it wasn't going to be as big as it is now. It was going to be this little ballroom. And the Rathskeller was like, here you go. Here's a good deal. And I was like, then I was walking around and I seen this amazing theater room. And I said, if I want to make it big, I got to go big. So I decided with my first sponsorship, I contacted Rathskeller and I'm like, can I please upgrade rooms and get this thing so I can expand and have more people there and have more opportunity to spread awareness about this, what Isaiah is doing. And they were like, okay. And so I did it. It was a risk, but it's paying off because the gala is so much bigger and better than it was planned to be at the start.
What a great story, right? How do you have that confidence?
You really just gotta hope. It was risky at first. My mom was like, Dylan, you know what's gonna happen. Like, if you don't raise enough money, that room's it's pretty pricey. And I was like, it's gonna be big and it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And as of now, ticket sales aren't even open yet. They open September 1st, and it's already growing, and it's so much bigger than I'd ever dreamed of it being.
Mm-hmm. For the awareness. So, what are the ticket prices?
So tickets right now they open September 1st, and they're going to be $100 a ticket. And the ticket includes, there's going to be dinner provided by Rathskellers, there's going to be live entertainment, and this isn't official yet, but parking should be included at a parking garage because I'm working with them. And it's just going to be live guest speakers, and it's just going to be bring awareness to it and like have a fun way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So February 8th, we need to put that on our calendars.
February 8th.
Yeah, and September 1st for the ticket sales.
September 1st, and a table of 8 is $750, so it's a little cheaper.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's awesome. How many people can attend? What's the capacity in this big room?
The capacity they told me was around 200 and something. But I think I could fit a little more if it comes down to it. I think
those boundaries.
I think we're just gonna throw a couple. Because I think we're just gonna put an extra couple of tables around.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. I love your confidence. Right. A lot of kids, even as an Eagle Scout, right? So a lot of kids are going, okay, I could maybe do this or think about it. But just what you bring is, why don't we push the envelope? Like, let's just ask, right? Let's see if we can get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the proceeds. So $30,000. What will this mean to Isaiah117 House?
Yeah, so our annual budget to keep our house open is $175,000. So that comes out to an average of us spending around $300 on each of the guests that we interact with. And since opening in August of 2023, we've had the joy of interacting with over 240 individual guests. So that's one of the things that I always love to talk about is that our house is working. It's open. It's right here in our community. So those that are wanting to keep their money local, and even their efforts, if they want to volunteer, can do it right here in their own community. But in addition to it being a huge bump to our fundraising income and just taking some of the burden off of our shoulders as the staff team, we operate on a fairly small staff team with a lot that we need to do on a weekly and annual basis. So it's just a blessing to be able to have someone like Dylan and all the support that he has with DECA and with his family that, we don't have to worry about it. We can sleep a little bit easier knowing that our guests are going to be well taken care of into the future.
Mm-hmm. So somebody's listening and they say, I want to volunteer for the gala, or I want to volunteer just to help. What's the process? How do they get involved?
Yeah, I would say the easiest way, no matter what direction they're wanting to do, if they want to be a volunteer caregiver actually in the house with our guests, or if they want to help with the gala or other events that we might be having, is to find us online and fill out a volunteer application. So whether you find us through our website, it's located there, or if they're on social media or any other facet, we try to be as findable as possible. and they'll fill out a volunteer application, which just asks some qualifying questions, and we do a little bit of research and a background check to make sure that everything is good to go there. And then they would choose what they would like to be involved in. So we reach out to them and find the best fit. We know that everyone has their time, treasure, and talent, and if they want to share their talent and their time with us, we try to find the best opportunities for them to be able to serve within our organization. So we're actively looking for more volunteers and just hoping that someone out there today is listening and wants to pitch in some way.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm super excited that we can help you promote this so long out, right? So we've got several months, but I want to help people remember that September 1st is one of the big dates to get tickets, and the $750 for the table of 8, which is a great benefit. And that you're trying to reach $30,000. So that's what I want to see is we want to help you reach that goal because I think it's totally possible. You've got plenty of time. Yeah, that's so cool. All right, so any last words to get people inspired about the upcoming things that are happening? Anything else that you didn't say that you want to share?
I mean,
I think we covered a lot.
The only thing is, like, you can get anything helps. Like, you can go on, you can sponsor the event, you can go get a ticket to the event, or you can even just go donate to the event. Anything helps, and it's really appreciated.
A lot of people may ask, like, the matching dollars, if they have anything designated from their company, they can reach out to you and find out about that information too.
Absolutely. And one thing I did think of that it's newer to us and we're very excited about it, is every contribution to Isaiah117 House in Indiana is eligible for the Indiana foster care tax credit. So to simplify all of that down to what it actually does for you, because we know that sometimes it's a business decision as far as a level of contribution, is 50%, up to 50% of your contribution amount will be credited back to you on your Indiana taxes. It's facilitated through the Indiana Department of Revenue. It's just one form. So if someone is making that decision of who to contribute to or how much to contribute, we hope that that's a helpful thing. That's another way of benefiting our donors.
That's awesome. And you guys are also on the Because One platform.
Yes.
So I have to include our friends at Because One. They're great. And if they don't know about that, go to Because One and find Isaiah117 House, and you can donate that way too.
Yes, that helps. Helps us to keep inventory of all of the physical items. We have over 300 bins worth of items in our house, from hygiene to all the different sizes and types of clothing. Anything that a kiddo might need to keep them healthy, we would have. And Because One and other platforms like that really help to keep those items stocked up.
That's great. Well, thank you guys for coming in today again. We really appreciate it because, our mission is to help you get that visibility and make sure that the momentum is created so that you can reach your goals, and we can really celebrate that together.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So for you, the message is go to Isaiah117house.com. Donate, get your ticket on September the 1st. Get ready for this gala on February 8th because it's going to be awesome. Wouldn't you love to help Dylan and reach this goal and just see it come together? I want to go see his vision. So remember, we love celebrating inspirational people, inspirational business leaders and community leaders. And this is what we love to do. So if you want to be involved in the show, just reach out to us at everydayleaders.com. The journey of growth and innovation, it never ends here. And it is our mission to keep bringing you the best insights from our local community. So stay tuned for more episodes of wisdom, innovation, and inspiration. This is Melanie Ake signing off from JP the Geek Studio, where they say better IT service is just a call away. Until next time, don't forget, subscribe to our channel and turn those notifications on so you never miss an episode. Everyday Leaders helps you to develop strategies to be a better leader in your life. Because remember, it's not what you do in a day, it's what you do every day that makes the most impact. Thanks for following us.